It is now 5 p.m. Welcome to the special call meeting of the Mississippi Achievement School District. The meeting is now called to order. The agenda is before us and it is approved. We're about to begin our presentation of items. And we're going to begin with, in the discussion section, item number 3.1. Dr. Brown, are you available?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Dr. Watkins. We have for your approval tonight some revisions to two of our job descriptions. The first one is Dean of Culture and Community, where we have added a qualification for the position or eligibility to possess an administrator's license 486 from the Mississippi Department of Education. And then on the instructional curriculum support specialist job description, we revised the location. That position is now being offered in the Humphreys and Yazoo regions.
Okay. Item 3.1 is approved. 3.2, Dr. Brown?
Yes, sir. Dr. Watkins, we have for your approval all personnel actions that have occurred from April the 20th as of today's date. This will include new hires, resignations, change of statuses, license upgrades, license issuance, experience verification, renewal recommendations, declinations of positions, denial of resignations, applications for license and or revocation of licenses. So in particular, we're focused on all of those, plus making sure that we renew recommendations for the upcoming school year.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. Item 3.2 is approved. Mrs. Upshaw, 3.3.
Good afternoon, Dr. Watkins. We're requesting your approval of claims dockets for April the 27th, 2023. We have Humphreys County Region claims numbers 181162 through 181181, totaling $111,367.92. And we have for the Yazoo City Region claims 58742 through 58762, totaling $61,063.57.
Thank you, Ms. Upshaw. Item 3.3, which includes 3.3.1, 3.3.2, is approved. Item 3.4, Ms. Bailey.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dr. Watkins, I'm presenting for your approval a request to accept a donation from the Junior Auxiliary of Yazoo City. They have donated hygiene items to our schools to support those students who may be facing a hardship. We're greatly appreciative for those items and welcome donations from our community partners. They did last semester present additional donation items that we presented for your approval as well. So they are a trusted and faithful partner of the district.
Thank you, Ms. Bailey. I approve the acceptance of the donation from the Junior Auxiliary of Yazoo City, and we do appreciate their support. Let's go on to the next two, Ms. Bailey.
So, Dr. Watkins, I have presented for your approval a request to accept a donation from the First Lady of Mississippi, Mrs. Ellie Reeves. She has partnered with the KC Family Services organization, and one of the goals was to print workbooks for all fourth grade students statewide. So they requested our numbers and have sent to the district workbooks for our children. And this is a personal story that she wrote. And so we are requesting your approval for this donation.
Okay. And which grade level?
Fourth grade. So it will be Ida Green and McCoy.
Okay. So that needs to be corrected in 3.6. So item 3.6 should be corrected from Woolfolk. That should be McCoy Elementary School. So Ms. Gray, I know that you're on. Please make note of that we're making a correction, that 3.6 should be awarded to McCoy Elementary School. With that correction, 3.5 and 3.6 are approved. Mr. Wilson, 3.7.
Good evening, Dr. Watkins and all who are in attendance. Dr. Watkins, we are requesting approval for Yvonne Keller McCoy Elementary School to have a spring fling sneaker ball. So I'm requesting this approval on behalf of Mrs. Doyle, the principal at McCoy, to have this fundraiser.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Item 3.7 is approved. 3.8. Mr. Giles.
Thank you, Dr. Watkins. Item number 3.8 is a request for approval of fixed assets to be declared junk and removed from our Yazoo City fixed asset report. All the proper paperwork has been submitted, and these items have been declared of no further use. So we're asking your approval to delete these items.
Thank you, Mr. Giles. Item 3.8 is approved. 3.9, Mr. Giles.
3.9, we're requesting approval to sell the portable classroom units that are located at McCoy Elementary to the highest bidder, Mr. Peter Gower. These are old classroom units that we have no further use for, and they've already been removed from our inventory, which is actually your permission to transfer these to Mr. Peter Gower.
All right. Item 3.9 is approved. All right. 3.10, Mr. Giles.
3.10, we're requesting approval to accept the HVAC construction bid from Upchurch Services LLC for the Humphreys County High School HVAC renovation project. Upchurch Services LLC was the lowest and best bid, and they were recommended to us by IMS Engineering, who is our engineering firm that's handling the bidding process. So we're requesting your approval to accept that bid.
3.10 is approved. 3.11, Chief Brown.
Good evening, Dr. Watkins and other attendants. I'm requesting to apply for the MCOPS grant for school year 23-24. This grant would allow us to fund officers with equipment that's necessary for them to need to do our jobs. With your approval for me to apply, I would like to apply for this grant.
3.11 is approved. 3.12, Chief Brown.
Also with approval, I'm requesting to apply for the federal COPS grant. This would allow us to upgrade our security in our buildings in both regions. This particular application is required that we fill one out for both regions, and this will allow us to compete for up to $600,000 in both regions.
Thank you, Chief Brown. 3.12 is approved. Mr. Giles, 3.13.
Yes, sir. Item 3.13 is approval of change orders 8, 9, and 11 of the Yazoo City High School restroom renovation project. These changes were needed in order to correct some plumbing issues and to make sure that the project stayed on schedule. And there's no additional cost. These are all covered by our contingency funds with the contract.
3.13 is approved. 3.14, Mr. Giles.
3.14, we're requesting Dr. Watkins' approval of emergency plumbing repairs that occurred at Woolfolk Middle School. We had some sanitary lines that were backed up, so we had to call out a plumber to come and repair those, and we're asking for your approval.
Thank you, Mr. Giles. 3.14 is approved. 3.15, Mr. Giles.
3.15 is also an emergency plumbing repair that took place at Humphreys County High School in the SPED building. They were also having some sanitary waste line issues that were backing up into the SPED room. So we called the plumber to remedy those issues, and we're asking for your approval.
3.15 is approved. And we're now down to item 3.16 that will be led by Dr. Austin. And I know that Mr. Wilson will be assisting her in that. So we are going to begin with McCoy Elementary School report. And Mr. Dixon, if you will just click and display that report, we'd appreciate it. Dr. Austin.
Good evening, Dr. Watkins. So we will begin our monthly board reports by allowing Ms. Doyle to present her report for the month of April.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mr. Dixon, if you will scroll down to the next page, we will begin with our third benchmark data. That's our updated data. The students of McCoy gained 259 points, which was lower than they typically scored, which resulted in an F. This assessment was comprehensive, and as we dug through our data, we realized that there were a significant amount of standards that our fourth grade math students had not been taught at this time. So that resulted in our proficiency for reading. We had 9.2%. Our growth for all for reading was 42.8%. and our percentage of our lowest performing subgroup was 64%. With math, we had 10.1% students of our students to score proficient. 61% of all of our students grew, and 69.3 of our lowest performing students in math met their growth. For our fifth grade science, we had 2.5% of our students that scored proficient. We had a 95% proficient participation rate. For our enrollment, we had 623 students for the month of March. Our student ADA was 91.80%. Students with 2 or more absences, 33%. Our teacher attendance rate was 92.4%. We had 13 discipline referrals. For our observations, we conducted 20 observations in ELA classrooms, 15 in math, 7 in science, and we do not have U.S. history. If you would scroll down to our updates for April, one more right here. All right, so our updates for April, we again obtained the 259 points on our third 9 weeks benchmark. And what we did as a result was we buckled down with our re-engagement plans, which were created to focus on those specific standards to help increase growth and proficiency in reading, math, and fifth grade science. Also, we had targeted support that was given to our fourth grade math students to make sure that we prepared them for those standards that they had not been introduced. And we did that through high dosage tutoring. We had administrator push-ins, and our consultants also began to push in with our fourth grade students. Additionally, we had high dosage tutoring sessions conducted for math in also third and fifth grade, our fifth grade science, and all of our reading students that were performing close to proficiency, and those students that were scoring in our lowest performing subgroup. Our fund balances are the same as reported last month. Do you want me to do those again, Dr. Watkins?
No, y'all reporting updated information.
Okay, well, that concludes our report for McCoy.
Thank you, Mr. Doyle. Talk to us a little bit more about what's happening around your ELA work in order to shore up there.
So with our ELA work, we have shifted to what we call our re-engagement plans. And that's where we looked at our data and we found those standards that our students were struggling with the most. So now they are engaged in targeted instruction, where we began with a domain review where the students get practice with what it would look like on map to assess those items. So the students engage in those, and then the teachers have the opportunity to review those with the students. They get to see where their mistakes were and whether they were correct. And then the teacher moves into her mini lesson on that specific standard for the day. At the end of the lesson, if the teacher feels like the students are ready and they have really grasped the concept, then she allows them to take what we call our progress checkups, our power checks. And for those students that she feels need a little more support, she'll pull those into small groups, and they will continue with that standard while those students are doing their power check. At the end, they all review and they use the performance levels to see where they would score had that been our MAP assessment. Today, we took our last ELA assessment. Fifth grade took their ELA assessments, and they were really, really excited about them. A lot of them actually told us they felt like it was easy. It was easier than they thought. So we're praying that they did as well as they feel they did.
We know that you and your staff have put in quite a bit of hard work, and some supports have been provided as well from external providers. And so I want to say how much I appreciate your leadership at the school and what you all have been doing to advance the academic outcomes of our students. And so, and we're hoping as well that along with our faith, that our works have really paid off for us. And so we're looking forward to great outcomes. All right, thank you, Ms. Doyle. Dr. Austin?
Yes, sir. Next we'll have Ms. Robertson to present her report.
Good evening, Dr. Watkins and staff. I'm here to present the April board report for Webster Elementary. Mr. Dixon, if you will scroll to the third page, we do not have any updated information for diagnostic. That information will be forthcoming on the next month's board report as we've completed that process. For the month of April, our student enrollment was 301. Our student ADA was 93.30%. Chronic absentee percentage is 35%. And again, chronic absenteeism that rate is calculated by students who miss 2 or more days within that month. Our discipline referrals was 0%. ELA observations, 24. Math observations was 21. And no updated information right there with the diagnostics. We will provide that for next month. In terms of that, for April, we really continued the supports that we were providing to teachers to make sure that we are working with students to build reading fluency and to ensure that students were able to meet their readiness standards on the MCAS assessments that they took this week and we concluded today. Our balances are still the same for the month of March, so there were no updated information there. Again, we have completed MCAS assessment. So we're excited about the information and the data that show the growth of our students, which we will provide more information on that for the upcoming months. So please stay tuned.
Thank you, Ms. Robertson. Soon to be Dr. Robertson. When will you be attending?
Tomorrow.
Okay, well, we certainly wish you well, and we know that you will do a great job, and we're looking forward to you adding those letters at the end of that name. And so we appreciate the hard work that you put in leading your school, along with working to advance yourself personally in regards to getting your doctorate degree. So congratulations on that. We know that all will be well.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, next we have Ms. Henson to report the board report for Woolfolk Middle School.
Good evening. This is Angela Henson from Woolfolk. I'm the interim principal. We're looking at benchmark 3. Our goal was to obtain a 334 for a C rating. We did not obtain our objective goal. We obtained a current rating that is 228 points, which will leave us with an F accountability. We were able to show growth, but not enough to get us what we needed. As we look at the third benchmark, we see that our proficiency for reading was 7.5. Our overall growth was 30.1. And our growth of our bottom 25 was 53.4. When we transition and look at our math, we show our proficient was 5.4. Our growth of all was 56.3. And that the growth of our bottom 25 was 82. Excuse me, I'm reading off the wrong slide. Excuse me. Our growth of the bottom 25 for reading was 28.6. And then we switch over to math and we look at our growth of our bottom 25 was 82.1. I'm showing we did show significant growth in science. We went from 10.3 to 17.6. As we come down and we look at our total enrollment was 486. Our student AD was 89%. Percentages of students with 2 or more absences was at 40%. Our teacher attendance rate was at 86%. I'm showing that the discipline referrals for that was 34. And when we look at classroom observations for ELA, I'm showing that there were 7 for math, 3, and for science, 1. As we go down to look at what did we do under April 2023 in order to increase and reach our goals for proficiency and growth on our accountability, the areas of challenges that we had to address was the academic deficits identified on the third 9 weeks benchmark. According to the most recent data, Woolfolk showed growth, but not enough to come out for F accountability. Due to the most recent benchmark data, Woolfolk implemented a re-engagement plan for 6th through 8th math and ELA, along with 8th grade science. The plan was a collaboration between different consultants, Office of School Academics, and Woolfolk's instructional staff. The plan identifies specific students and addressed their targeted growth goals. The plan utilized specific instructional strategies geared towards student mastery on math. The instructional schedule was altered from Woolfolk. It went from a block schedule to periods to ensure that students went to core subject areas daily. Students also transitioned to the 6 daily periods to give students ample opportunity for practice assessment strategies and develop stamina for math testing. Specific classes with struggling students were paired with Woolfolk staff and consultants to provide extra assistance to students as needly. Lastly, all materials utilized in our re-engagement plan were high quality instructional material that was aligned to math and state standards, and materials encompass appropriate grade level rigor. Woolfolk continued the use of its high dosage tutoring for its low performing students and its proficient students. Lastly, they help strengthen the school climate and culture and to reward student achievement. The school developed a plan designed to incentivize those who did show growth and obtain levels 4 and 5 on the third benchmark. As far as our fiscal, there were no fiscal changes for this session, and so it remained the same.
Thank you, Ms. Henson. Next, we'll have Dr. Fuller to present his board report for the month of April.
Good evening, everyone. Updates for Yazoo City High School. Third benchmark results, reading proficiency was at 3.9%. Growth of all, 37.8%. And the growth of the bottom 25 was 18.8%. The math, 6.7% proficiency. Growth of all, 98.7% in math. And the growth of the bottom 25% was 100%. Proficiencies for biology, 2.9%, and proficiency for U.S. history was 11.1%. Student ADA, 91.32%. Absentees, 13.36%. Number of teacher attendance rate, 95%. Number of discipline referrals, 19. Number of classroom observations for ELA, 16. 11 for math, 20 for science, and 12 for U.S. history. April updates. Third 9 weeks benchmark data slightly decreased in performance. Therefore, re-engagement plans were implemented to ensure MAP standards were reviewed and mastered. The plan engages each content area to cover a minimum of 2 standards a day. Many assessments are given daily to assess progress. Will you scroll down, Mr.? All right. So through that re-engagement plan, teachers and domain review that is created by the teacher or the instructional coach. They also had many lessons created by the teacher. That was the spiral review of the introduction of the lesson. And also they had those power checks, which were those formative assessments created by ELS to ensure that students, to ensure that we were checking for understanding. Students used laptops to ensure the readiness for MAP assessments as well. Desert City High School targeted standards with less than 50% mastery and standards that had the higher point percentages based on Indeed blueprints. Standards were reviewed through the many lessons, of course, again, through those domain reviews and power checks. Mastery is checked through the many lessons as well. Also, additionally, external providers are also used to provide additional remediation and enrichment for selected students, low performing students, and our proficient students. Those students were selected based on previous MAP assessment data and the current 2022-23 benchmark data. I do have some updates as far as funding. Third quarter funding balance, $37,000 for my Title I funded balance. 23 balance was $37,000. $323.01. My remaining balance of $50,769.24. And my remaining balance of 21 was $37,247.30.
And just for clarity, Dr. Fuller, that's FY 22 and then FY 21, I believe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. FY 22 and FY 21.
Thank you, sir.
Next, we will have a presentation from Mr. Peters for the Larry Summers Vocational Center.
Good evening. I'm the director at Larry Summers. Mr. Dixon, you can go down to the go down right there. All right, we offer classes in educator prep, automotive services, industrial maintenance, law and public safety, construction, health science. As far as testing, the only courses that have testing modules are carpentry and construction, industrial maintenance, and automotive services. As of right now, we're scheduled to end module testing on May 15th. And you see the carpentry and construction scores. We do service students from Yazoo County, Manchester Academy, Benton Academy, as well as Yazoo City. You see with the scores in carpentry and construction, we have 2 more modules to go. The students that training recommended, those students each have 2 opportunities to pass the module assessment. And as of right now, you see we have low numbers of the ones in carpentry construction that have training recommended. But Mr. O'Banner, the carpentry construction teacher, is doing extra help with those because he didn't want to give them the second opportunity without making sure that they had a chance to successfully get their industry certification. And these students right here are only Yazoo City students. I did not include the other student scores. And industrial maintenance, I see the chart is off. They have 2 more modules to go as well. And the numbers in this class from Yazoo City are lower because most of the students from Benton Academy and Manchester Academy take these courses. And the students that in this class that are having trouble, what we're doing, since carpentry, construction, and industrial maintenance, the first year is pretty much the same. Mr. O'Banner and Mr. Osborne are teaching together to help those students that are struggling. You can go down, Mr. Dixon. All right, work-based learning students. These students are out in the field getting work-based learning hours at different sites within Yazoo City. We have students at Nelson Dental Clinic, AA Calibration, Dream Innovations, the City of Yazoo, CarQuest Auto Parts, the Gifted Hands Academy, and Yazoo Animal Hospital. These students are receiving these specific work hours and can earn up to 2 credits per year, but they must work over 280 hours. To obtain 1 credit, they have to work up until 140 hours. To obtain half a credit, they must work up to 79 hours. We will know the final count next month, but all of our students are on track to at least get 1 credit because of the work hours. You can go ahead. And we just have a few notes. As far as up until time of the board report, we had 0 discipline referrals. Module testing will be completed by May 15th. So we'll have all the scores the next report. Automotive service test is May 3rd. We'll be testing 10 students. And these students have been receiving on-hands training in the shop from the instructor and also from outside help. The former teacher, Mr. Parker, he comes in and helps as well, donates his time to our students so that we can ensure that they all can get the certification, which also contributes to the accountability model for Yazoo City High School.
Thank you, Mr. Pizzi. Next, we'll have Dr. Landfair present her board report for Outer Green Elementary.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. From our third term benchmark assessment data, we had a 378, which is an accountability rating of a B. For reading, our percent proficiency was 19.5%, and that is 29 out of 149 students. And in that category, we did not meet our goal. For math, our proficiency was 24.2%, and that is 36 out of 148 students, and we did not meet our goal on that part either. For the growth of all for reading, we have 76.8%. That's 63 out of 82 students, and we exceeded our goal in that category. For math, growth of all, we had 75.9%, and that is 62 out of 81 students, and we exceeded our goals in that category as well. The growth of the bottom 25 or the least performing subgroup for reading, we have a 30.2%, and that is 7 out of 24 students, and we did not meet our goal in that category. For math, growth of the bottom 25, we have 97.8%, and that's pretty much all of our students in that category, so we exceeded our goal. Okay, scroll please. Okay, our data. We have our total school enrollment is 373. Our student ADA is 93.74%. Our chronic absenteeism students is 13%. The teacher attendance rate is 97%. Number of discipline referrals, we have 4. Classroom observations for ELA is 26. Classroom observations for math is 39. Our next steps to address the benchmark data and our next steps for state assessment. Scroll, please. Okay, scroll back up. Okay, as other principals stated, we have the re-engagement plan in place for 3rd and 4th grades ELA and math. We have strategic small group interventions. Students are being pulled and their deficit areas are being worked on. And not only are we working with those students who need those students who have deficit skills, we're also working on students who are level 4s and level 5s already, because we don't want those students to fall behind. Spiral reviews, we still have our high dosage tutors in place. We have our teacher coaches who are assisting teachers and helping build their capacity as well. Our 3rd grade MAP assessment was last week, and we made sure that all of our staff received effective test security training, and we also implemented our test incentives. Scroll, please. Okay, and right here for our fiscal balance for FY23, we have $111,000, $111,495,000. For FY22, we have $55,533.36. For FY21, we have $28,488.81. Our allocation for title funding, the consolidated title funding for FY23, we have $63,766.05. For FY22, we have $817.75. And for FY21, we have $11,313.39. And that concludes our updates.
Thank you, Dr. Landfair. Next, we'll have Ms. Tanner to present her board report for O.M. McNair Middle.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. So based on our 3rd benchmark data, we had a total of 240 points, which did give us an accountability rating of an F. We had 9.9% of our scholars were proficient in reading. Only 1.9% of our scholars were proficient in math. We did have growth in science. This is the highest percentage that we had in science. So we are trending towards our goal in science with 27.5% proficiency. In terms of growth for all in ELA, we had 30.4% of our students proficient. Math is 64.8% growth of all. I'm sorry if I said proficient, it was growth of all. And then growth of the bottom 25% is 32.8% for reading, and then 72.9% for math. All right, if you scroll to the next page, we're looking at our data breakdown for the month of April. Our total enrollment for April was 397 students, 92.95% ADA for the month, 4.52% of students with chronic absenteeism. Our teacher attendance rate was 94%. Our number of disciplinary referrals was 9. Observations in ELA were 22, math observations 17, science observations 12, and we do not have U.S. history. If you scroll to our April updates, which is right, go back up. Yes, right there. So after we looked at our benchmark 3 data, we determined to have the greatest area of opportunities in a few areas. So we looked at the students' writing responses. We had over 100 students that received 0 points for the writing portion of the assessment. And so we determined a couple of things after we looked at how students performed on that assessment. A lot of our students were actually scripting their response out on typing paper, which was good because it followed the protocol and it allowed them to draft their thoughts out in a cohesive manner. But what they did was it negatively impacts them being able to type that response into the platform within those 75 minutes of time allotted. So we've really been working with the teachers to ensure that we are giving students strategies where they can brainstorm on paper, but not taking that full amount of time to write the full response on paper and then type. So that was something that we know we lost points on because students were not able to type all of their responses out in a good amount of time. We also just looked at building student stamina. The test was a comprehensive assessment, and we just have to make sure that we're building student stamina to persevere through those long passages without being redirected by teachers, because we know on the actual assessment we cannot redirect students. So we just have to build their stamina up to be able to persevere through all of that. We also have domain reviews and power checks every day where those students are getting those constant spirals to have those opportunities to practice those test items in a 15-minute window of time every single day. And we're hoping that that daily practice and their daily exposure also builds their stamina while also exposes them to those test items that they will be exposed to on the assessment. And then we just continue to expose our kids to high quality, rigorous texts daily across all content areas. And we also have high dosage tutoring continuing as well in our building on a daily basis. And that is all of the updates for McNair.
Thank you, Ms. Tanner. We'll move on now to Mr. Russell with Humphreys County High School.
Good evening. My name is Raymond Russell. I'm a principal at Humphreys County High School. And we're going to start with the third benchmark assessment results. For reading ELA, we had 28% proficiency with 80 growth all and 100 growth bottom 25. For math, we had 24.6% proficiency with 99.6 growth all and 100 growth bottom 25. For biology, we had 10.6 proficiency. Those scores are not live this school term. U.S. history, we had 12.5 with a 95% or greater participation rate. Go to the next page. For the month of April, we had 400 students enrolled. Our student ADA was 89.03. Our percentage of students with 2 or more absences for the month, 18.75%. The teacher attendance rate is 89. Number of discipline referrals is 6. Number of classroom observations 24. Number of classroom observations for ELA, was 24. Number of classroom observations for math was 20. Number of classroom observations for science is 26. And the number of classroom observations for U.S. history is 31. You'll go up one right there. Humps County High School aims to improve its performance by identifying areas of improvement and implementing effective process to address them. For the month of April, uh, we had two key areas: reducing the number of discipline referrals and decreasing the number of percentage of students with two or more absences. You'll go down, Mr. Dixon. Thank you. Classroom observation. Humboldt County High School will increase classroom observation to support teachers and improve student learning. The principal, assistant principal, data coach will observe classrooms and provide feedback to the teachers on instructional practices, classroom management, data usage, and implementation, and student engagement. You'll go down, Mr. Dixon, to the fund balances, to the very last page. And our consolidated title funding for the third quarter, March 2023, $86,326.10. For FY22 third quarter, March 2023 is $0. And for FY21 third quarter, March 23 is $12,930.34.
Mr. Russell, read that FY23 balance again, please.
The FY23 balance for the third quarter is $86,362.10.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
You know Dr. Fuller is laughing at you in the camera. I just want you to know.
It be moving kind of fast, Doc. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
And finally, we will have Mr. Wilson to present on behalf of Thomas C. Randall.
I will do the very best I can, as I do not lead the CTE program on the Humphrey side. So I will do lots of reading today. So don't mean to insult anyone's intelligence. So Dr. Austin is instructing me to start here on the charts. So here is a module score report representing the HVAC first year students reporting, which is representative of 6 students. So under the pass, as you can see, the chart is displaying basic employability skills, basic comm, basic safety, intro to construction math, intro to hand tools, intro to power tools, introduction to construction drawings, introduction to material handling, introduction to HVAC, basic copper and plastic, soldering and brazing, and basic electricity. And so as you can see, the numbers are reflected there of the students who passed and the students who have been recommended for training. And so we need to put a special emphasis on our introduction to power tools, as that has the highest representation of students who are recommended for training. Regarding our second year students for HVAC, which is representative of 3 students, and that assessment is looking at trade mathematics, basic carbon steel piping, introduction to cooling, introduction to heating, and introductions to air distribution systems. All 3 of those students are represented there as pass, so no students have been recommended for training at this time. And then looking at our carpentry construction students, first year, which is representative of 12 students, again, similar indicators as the first year students for HVAC, with the difference in orientation to trade, which is toward the end there, building materials and fasteners, and introduction to masonry and electrical industry. So you can see the numbers who are indicated there for passing. Particularly need to take a special look at intro to power tools, as we have 4 students who are recommended for training. Orientation to trade, 4 students there recommended for training, and then 6 students for hand and power tools. Continuing on to carpentry construction second year students, which is representative of 12 students, you see that the difference in the earlier reporting for second year students is the floor framing systems, wall systems, ceiling and roof framing, an introduction to building envelope systems, basic stair layout. So you see the numbers that are represented there for passing, but we do have quite a few students who are recommended for training, particularly in building materials, fasteners, and adhesives, wall systems, ceiling, and roof framing. So we will take a special look at how we will support those students moving forward. With welding, first year we have 22 students there. And in our indicators there for welding, we have basic employability skills, basic communication, basic safety, introduction to construction math. Let me just indicate the differences. If you go down toward the fourth to the last, you have oxy-fuel cutting, equipment and setup, electrodes, beads, and fillet welds. So I don't know what fillet welds are, so hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm more than open to correction there. So I will take a special look at our students who have been recommended for training at high numbers. So our basic safety, definitely need to take a special look at those students who need some additional support there, and our intro to hand tools. And then with our second year welding students, there are 6 students there. And as you see, we have several assessments that we need to complete, but we only have 2 where we have scores for passing under welding safety and intro to hand tools, and 2 students have been recommended for additional training for welding safety. And that concludes the report. And I was reporting on behalf of Director Mr. Ricks, who was unable to be in attendance today. Hopefully I did well in his place. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson, and thank you all principals for your presentations this evening. We are certainly entering the testing season for parents. For those of you who are listening to this presentation during this time, we do need your assistance in making sure that the students are at school every day, because we must ensure that we're testing over 95% of our students at all times on these exams. And we do want people to see how well our students are learning, because we need to demonstrate that just because we might be in a situation where all of our schools returned as that's not who we are. And we know that's not who we are. So we need to show up and demonstrate the quality of what our students know, and to help folk understand that our children are highly intelligent in Yazoo City and Humphreys County. We appreciate the support and work of our teachers. Parents, we appreciate you, but our work is not yet done. We have to get through this testing season. We have to focus. We have to work together. We have to get them to the end of this process. And we know with the hard work that we've put in, we are expecting great outcomes. We really appreciate all the support we've gotten to this point. There might have been some bumps along the way, but we certainly appreciate how much you all have worked through every issue, every bump in the road, every item that came up that might have caused some sensitive moments as we move forward. But it's all been for the benefit of our students, and we thank you for staying in the work with us. As we look at the end of our agenda for tonight, we're actually at the end at adjournment. Thank you everyone for participating, and we are now adjourned.